Is that clear? So let's go back to a more normal information. Let the PTP do the job on the Ravenna side. Let's the Ravenna be the clock master, and let's for example solve, and then we can show another different option. So sync to external, we don't want to do it because maybe we are sitting on a Dante network, but we are not supposed to change the clock situation. It could happen. You know, if you arrive and then you are a guest of something and you want to get there with the Prodigy to have an in and out, break in and break out box, but they tell you, I give you Dante access, but don't even think about changing anything. Yeah? No worries. So you will not have the possibility to do that, and you not have the possibility to force Dante to accept the information from you. Activate the fast sample rate converter and you're happy. You add 5 or 6 samples to your audio path, 6 samples, nothing. Of course, what's the difference between a fast SRC and an HD SRC? First of all, the HD SRC, the difference is that you have to pay more to have the HD SRC. Is that a different, it's an important difference? Might be. But the reason why you have to pay more, because you need an extra FPGA to do that. Therefore, you can order a Dante card, a SoundGrid card, a Ravenna card, in the future an AVB card, with an extra FPGA used just to make the bidirectional sample rate converter. You need more power if you want to have an HD quality SRC, because it needs more power and more DSP time as well. So it's a compromise. The SRC, the sample rate conversion, is a compromise or a trade-off between how good the quality of sound should be and how fast the conversion should be done. You cannot get the super fast SRC and the best quality, either or. So you have 2 options here. The fast SRC is giving up some quality, but it's super fast, 6 samples. Live application, fantastic, especially when you cannot hear the difference with your ears. Mission accomplished. If you need an audio precision to spot the difference between the fast SRC and the HD SRC, guess what? It's not my business. In a festival, I have a console which is doing. If I press that button, I don't even care about the quality. You know, the glitches are over. Fantastic. We wanted to call it glitch-free option at the beginning, but nobody would have understood that that would have been a sample rate converter. So it was not a good idea. So I say, let's call it fast SRC. Glitch-free option, that's the idea. You have a glitch because you're not synchronous. It's like, you know, remember when you had the ground lift in the DI boxes? Yeah, but then it's unbalanced. So it's like the clock lift. Let's call it clock lift, right? You don't have a problem. In a festival environment, what you don't want is problem. What you want to have, all the weapons to solve the problem. And I came up with another super idea. Sometimes I have some good ideas, not every day, but auto. Wow, what does it mean? It means that if the incoming signal is detected synchronous, so synchronous and from the same clock, no, synchronous and the same sample rate, sorry, then there's no need of the sample rate converter. So I put that in bypass and I pass sample 1-to-1. It's like not having the sample rate converter. But by the time that one sample is out of sync, then I get my SRC in again. In a festival environment, this is a dream. I have my MADI devices. The MADI is there. The word clock reference is there. If you want to get the clock reference, help yourself. If you want to give me the MADI, you connect the MADI. If it's synchronous, fine. If it's not synchronous, sample rate conversion. Bidirectional. In a MADI, I can connect the sample rate converter both in input and in output. Example, I decided to run 48 kHz for my own reason. Probably because the PA system is going through a digital processor which is stick to 48 kHz, so there's no need to run at 96 in my processor, right? Or maybe the other way around. Maybe it's fixed to 96 and I'm having a 48 kHz feed, doesn't matter. So we don't match with the sample rate of the processor and one of the console that we have to connect. So let's say I'm running at 48 kHz and you come up with a Digico SD7 at 96 kHz and you give the MADI information. By the time that you are giving me the MADI, because you have left, right, sub, fills, Tom, Jerry, and all the others, right? I can understand immediately that you are out of sync and a different sample rate. So that is activated. And I know that if you are asking me to send you back some feed, I know that you are expecting to receive the feeds on the same sample rate, on the same clock. So I'm going to convert before giving you everything towards your sample rate and your clock. So it's like having an analog connection via MADI. Whatever it gets is happy. But that is the case when I have a bidirectional communication from the SD7 to the PRODIGY, back from the PRODIGY to the SD7. But if it's just one way, so if it's feeding me, but I don't have to send back any feedback, why I should sample rate converter, which is, used to reach a multi-track recording or something like that. Maybe I have the possibility not to use the sample rate converter on the output because the MADI output is going somewhere else. So you need to have the flexibility to have that separated. So on the MADI, no wonder they are separated. Only if you have the input activated, you can activate the output. Why? Because in case you want to activate the output sample rate converter, the information of how long is a second and the sample rate is derived from the incoming input.
Wow. So that's auto. So if I send you 192 and you're running 48, it'll come back to me at 192.
Yes.
When you hit that auto button.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Clear? While if I activate the sample rate converter on the Dante, guess what? Dante is Dante. Dante is a different network. There's no an input and an output. Okay, there are input and output, but they are linked together. It's a network. So if I need the sample rate converter on the way back, I need it also on the way. And that's the reason why they are, they cannot be switched on and off separately. While the MADI can be going back and forth the same position, but the output can go completely in different position. If you don't activate the sample rate converter on the output, what is the sample rate and the clock information of that MADI output? A plus for him. Your name? Nick. Nick as a plus. There's going to be a challenge here. Okay? So Nick is already as 1 plus. It's clear. What else? Right? So it's going to be a 48 kilohertz based on the clock, which is the real clock master in this case. Correct. Okay?